T.O. Blaze.
Hey there, this is Tio bringing you part 8 of my Astrophobia Career playthrough. This time we're headed back to the Mun Station. As you can see, I've got my orange fuel tank. It's time to put some fuel on my stations for my reusable lander. Uh, not, all, not entirely sure how much fuel I'm going to need. Here you see I'm experimenting with the idea of 2 tanks. Not liking the way that launch profile is going to look though, with the center mass being where it is. I'm also noticing the red indicator at the bottom right of the screen. My mass is too high for the launch pad. This rocket's going to be too heavy. So definitely going to take off one of the tanks. But let me go ahead and upgrade my launch pad anyway, because I'm going to need to do that at some point in the career mode. So take it down to one tank, and let's also play around with the boosters and engines. So between this video and the previous videos, I took a long break, and during that break, the new variants came out for the swivel and Reliant engines, and I like using those smaller diameter engines. So you see, I'm using Reliance for most of the lifting, and then one little swivel engine in the center of the core, so that I can get some gimbal, some control. So setting up these boosters in pairs, so that the first pair is going to feed into the second pair and the core, and the second pair is going to feed in just to the core, so that I'll get a little extra efficiency out of all that. Should also be a little cheaper than if I'd have just used the one single larger engine. So there you see, going ahead and launching my one tank. Drop a couple boosters. Trying to drop the second set of boosters. I've got lots and lots of thrust in this, so let me throttle down. Try not to be too inefficient. There you see the Mun. There's my ultimate target. Got my four solar panels on the vacuum stage, so don't need to worry about extending those when I do get into orbit, which is nice. Sometimes I forget to do that. But go ahead and deploy my fairing, shed a little bit of weight, and there's my second stage, my final stage. So let's put this bad boy into orbit around the Mun, and then I'll be able to dock it with my station. I think this one tank's going to be plenty of fuel for the lander that I made in the previous video. Depends on how many times I want to land and repeat, you know. For the sake of this playthrough, I'll probably only do it a handful of times. I do want to get a lot of science from the Mun, since I'm spending all these credits to get there and to build a station. Gonna get some use out of it. So go ahead and circularize around the Mun. There you can see my station. So my station's gonna catch up with me, so I'll leave my orbit big like it is, and go ahead and fix my inclination, get my orbits on the same plane, and I'll also get one point matching one nice intercept. And there we go, got my closest approach, nice and close. There it is, there's my station. So I'll get close enough, then I'll ditch this transfer stage, and I can deorbit it, have it crash into the Mun, and let me dock with my station. I dock it on the opposite side as the science return module that I put in the last video. I've got a space for a second tank, but I'm not going to probably need it after all. So let's deorbit this. Don't leave any debris. And let's go, let's grab a contract. I can get some science from orbit of Kerbin, which I probably will forget to do. I still need science from the surface of the Mun. That's going to be a good contract to get, because I plan on going to the surface of the Mun anyway. Here you see I forgot to put some solar panels on the lander, so let me slap a couple on. I decided to go with 8 of the stationary panels because they're light, and I don't want to increase my mass too much, so I'll have plenty of delta V for doing missions. You see my asparagus stage on these FLT 800 boosters with my Reliant engines. That's nice and efficient. I'm going to have lots and lots of delta V on this design. Let me deploy my fan. This is probably the only time I've ever done this. As I was ascending, I noticed the Mun was right at the horizon, which is usually where you want to be to start your transfer burn. So I actually don't even circularize around Kerbin. I just shoot straight for the Mun, which was kind of fun to do. And here, about halfway to the Mun, I'm going to make a slight adjustment so that my descending node is closer to 0. And here I'm at the Mun. Nice view of the Mun. Let me circularize my orbit. Still got lots and lots of fuel. Got the whole transfer stage pretty much left. So I'm going to dock with the station because I do need my expendable science. I need my Science Junior and my Mystery Goo units. So ordinarily in this kind of mission I would just go straight down to the surface, but since I've got some experiments I need to grab, let's go ahead and do our first dock and just grab one of the sets. Got 8, so I can do 8 trips to the surface before I need to replace that module. I was trying to drain as much fuel as I could, but I got so much fuel already on this station, none of the tanks had enough space, so I'm going to keep a little bit of my transfer fuel in my lander, and I'll use it to decircularize and get most of the way down to the landing. And then I go ahead and ditch it. It's going to crash into this crater. Not going to leave any debris. There you go. And there's the view of my lander. Man, it's the first time I see it with the Science Junior and the Mystery Goo, and I think it looks really good. Nice. So let's run all the experiments. I don't have flags in this playthrough, obviously, so I'm not gonna be able to mark where I've landed before. I may end up leaving behind a probe core with a battery or something just to have as makeshift flags for future missions, because I don't want to have to learn the hard way that I've landed in a biome more than once. So you see me fix some inclination. Let's get back into let's rendezvous with our station. I ditched the Science Junior Mystery Goo because I was able to load all the experiments into my experiment storage unit. So hence the expendable part of the name, the expendable science module. So refueling my lander, grabbing another expendable module, and let's go again. I think I may have reverted save here because I did land in a biome that I'd already been in. So this is a new crater. I've never been in this crater. I'm also deciding now to set all my science experiments to an action group. All of them except for the Science Junior and the Mystery Goo, because those are going to be fresh every time I land. So time to ditch the Science Junior Mystery Goo, get back up into orbit. These were relatively quick landings. So here you see I'm also kind of being lazy. Instead of circularizing and being really, really efficient, I'm just burning towards the station, and then I'm reducing my delta V and burning again and kind of forcing rendezvous. Let's grab my next expendable experiments, load all the other experiments into the station in the science return part, and then go back down to the surface. So I do this, I believe we do it 3 times for the sake of this video. This will be my 3rd landing. This time I'm going to have to adjust my inclination a little bit. My target is those twin craters there. I don't remember the name of the biome, but it's a large crater connected to a small one with a little, what looks like a trench. So I'm aiming for the top of the smaller crater. That's a unique biome I don't recall coming to in previous missions. So I'll go ahead and cancel off some of my horizontal velocity so I'm guaranteed to land in the crater. And nice and slow touchdown. Boop. Nice. Run all my experiments. It's going to be the last time for this mission that I'll go down to the surface. There you see I ditched my Science Junior and Mystery Goo. Nice to ditch that a little early. Save as much delta V as possible. This time I decided to circularize and fix my my inclination and get a nice clean rendezvous, most efficient possible. And there you have it. There's my rendezvous. There you see the station. And all that's left is to load these 3 landings worth of science experiments into a return module and send it back to Kerbin. So because all of these experiments were run for the first time during this playthrough, I'm going to send this module back to Kerbin, and I'm not going to circularize when I get there. I'll just actually collect uh, the module and get all the science immediately, as opposed to putting it in the mobile processing lab. Later, I can come back and visit these same 3 biomes, and I could load those into the processing lab if I chose to. But there you have my return probe coming in for the first time, and that wraps up this mission. See how much science I get for it. I hope you're enjoying the playthrough. These are some of the more fun missions that I've played so far. And if you have any ideas, leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.